When it's time, better let the man Simo speak.
Yo, this is Bilal Muhammad, and you're listening to the Simo.Speaks podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, but mostly gentlemen, man, y'all gotta chill. Share this joint out to some shorties, bro. I got a long-time friend here. It's my dog. I got Pauly Benzema, Pauly Bappe, Pauly Beckham, Pauly Bonucci, the Becca baller, the Cedar Cruyff, Pauly Berutini. Pauly B, my brother, how are you?
Oh, Cedar Cruyff, first of all, I'm gonna put that as top of the list. That was amazing. I don't think I've ever been called that. I've heard Lebanon Don, I've heard Paulinho, but I appreciate the intro, brother. Much love. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Look, bro, we're gonna switch it all up. I want to start off with what are your early moments and first love for your squad, bro. You're a gooner, right? It is what it is, man. A lot of my longtime friends are Arsenal fans. Tell me the first moments you started falling in love with the club, fall in love with the sport as a whole. What was it?
Man, that's such a good question because everyone always goes back to the first time, like how was it? How did it feel like supporting that club or whatever you really like have a passion for? So Arsenal for me, man, I remember those '02 jerseys, the burgundy ones that they used to rock like Henry and Bergkamp like right after the Invincible season. That was like one of the core memories I first remember. Also early FIFA influence, not only was the jerseys and like playing FIFA a whole thing, but I just remember picking Arsenal a lot. And then yeah, man, and I think because I
Let
really
me
love,
put a little boop in there. Were you a big FIFA or a Pro Evolution Soccer growing up?
that's a great question. I actually started with PES, Pro Evolution Soccer. It was like early 2000s when Roberto Carlos had that whipped outside the free kick. Like it was PES. Yeah.
Adriano was a cheat code.
Oh man, he's crazy. The Emperor. Yeah.
When do you think you made that transition over to FIFA?
I think that's when I really started like messing with Henry, like Thierry Henry, because I remember he was on the cover '05 or '06 or something, and I remember those jerseys. I remember Henry was on that Joga Bonito commercial, the Nike joint, where he was doing the freestyles with Zidane and all these players, and that's how I feel like it was Henry, man. It was him and like that jersey, and I got into Arsenal. Oh, bro, it was always on TV. I remember like World Cup days in Lebanon. Like we all that's all we watched is it was the World Cup. Lebanon sucked at soccer and still does, obviously, but the best thing that they had was either Brazil or Germany. I don't know why they divided between those two. And in 2002, I was still in Lebanon, and I remember the Pepsi ads. They had the Pepsi can with Ronaldinho, Henry, Zidane, all these people, even R9 Ronaldo. I think that's what got me into soccer first, and then Henry with Arsenal, and that's how like I remember the old days.
Right now, who are your
Yeah.
favorite players in general? Right, so it doesn't just have to be limited to Arsenal. Just in general, who do you like watching the most? Who gives you that feeling of man? This is Joga Bonito ball. This is total '90 ball. This is what I grew up watching.
Damn, that's a really good question. I would like starting off from Arsenal, I would say right now, like watching Saliba play because one, he's Lebanese. I'm gonna give him some shout out. He's a Rolls Royce in the back. But other than like having like really good composure, the way he moves with the ball, I really respect that with a center back. But then also like if I want to talk about like really, really top ballers right now that I love watching, I mean, even though the kid needs to get his act together, Lamine Yamal, man, is just making soccer fun again. He's cocky, he sags his shorts, but honestly, he can back it up. The way he plays, he's flashy. He can hit it from both sides, and yeah, I mean, he's got a bright future if he keeps it healthy. But other than that, man, there this is crazy because you go from Barca to Madrid. When it comes to pure watching soccer too, Arda Güler with like Turkey and with Real Madrid, Mans is a baller. Love the way he passes the ball. He's got the vision. I think he could be next up too in terms of like world class players if he keeps it up.
We've been itching for a Turkish baller. It's kind of
Yeah.
been slow for a while. Like you got Chanaloglu in Inter, but for the most part, the street's been quiet since Ozil dipped, bro. People need a Turk. People,
And
hey,
he was one of my favorite players of all time, especially when he came to Arsenal. I love the way he
I still
played.
remember how you acted the next day after the signing.
I think that was top five favorite moments of my life, other than like, like moving to this country and getting a citizenship. But like, it's just like it was security. It felt like you got something you can love.
It was a real transfer deadline feeling. Like none of this
Oh,
Fabrizio stuff.
there was no here we goes. It was just a bunch of fans posted outside like the training center, and then that guy who was on. I remember we were harassing that reporter at the time, and Arsenal fans just can't have anything. But yeah, that was fun.
Man, speaking of Arsenal fans can't having anything, are you Arteta out or Arteta in?
Currently, I'm in, and
Okay.
that's a tough one to talk about because Arteta in general, like I think he's going to be integral, in terms of when we look back and see what he did for Arsenal. He rebuilt the squad and he laid like foundations. But at the end of the day, I think the players he brought in, the winning percentages, the little records, that's great. But we've only won an FA Cup and a Community Shield. Like that doesn't excuse that he needs to deliver. Even with Wenger having big shoes to fill after Wenger, there was an Emery phase in between the Arteta, which I like to forget because that man's just Count Dracula. Let's just leave him alone. I don't want that guy around. But Arteta, I'm in right now. He just needs to deliver a trophy this year, and I don't want one trophy. If it's a Premier League or a Champions League, I want both. He does that, then we can talk about Arteta. But yeah, I'm still in for now.
Fair enough. Listen, there was like a major culture shift after Wenger dipped, right? Like that man brought a new stadium. He brought
Yep.
salad to the Prem. People weren't even eating salad before. Like nobody cared about their diet. So when he left, there was definitely like a power vacuum that just was there at Arsenal. And like a good dictator he is, and the excellent Haram ball player. Arteta filled that vacuum, man, and so you got to credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Things needed to be changed. Look, I like Aubameyang, like I enjoyed watching him, but if the manager thinks that the guy isn't bringing a good environment, right, especially with these young guys, man, you had Saka at left back. Now look what Saka's up to. It's pretty
Right.
incredible. Like I'll always have a soft spot for Arteta because to me that's a nostalgia baller. Like I'm
Yeah.
showing how young, quote unquote, how young I am. But like I remember Arteta on Arsenal, so I'm like, like it kind of makes sense. Like I kind of want the guy who played for them to. It makes sense. So I'll always kind of feel for him in a bit. But like my dog, you got that FA Cup wasn't even with his full squad. He still had other managers, players there. So it's kind of tough.
No, I agree 100%. Facts. Like I still have a soft spot for him also because like watching him play with Arsenal, you want to see a player turn into a coach win with the team on both sides. Like you want to see that happen. And it's crazy in the days of managers now, everyone has not only no patience and because of social media, but they are on a ticking clock. Like when a manager comes in, it's like if they don't make change quickly, they're getting on the chopping block.
Bro, they gave Ten Hag 3 days at Bayer Leverkusen. I kind of
That
respect that though. He only needs
yeah,
1 or 2 days and you can
that
get him out of here.
I think that was a record, right? I'm not sure if that was ever in the history of soccer. Like,
Let me ask you about some of your new summer signings this year. How are you feeling about Gyökeres?
you know what? For the price tag and for the way he played, even though he played in the Portuguese league and was top scorer, he's a little bit underwhelming right now. I would have expected him to have a stronger start, but of course, pressure on his shoulders. I think this though, he's been promising and hungry. I've seen good signs because he's been able to score. Even though he has 4 goals, he's tied with Salah right now, I think, or like with some other players. He's like in the top 15. He's still early on. I think he needs some time, but he's hungry. He's been able to facilitate. He's been able to body off the ball. I've seen him do stuff like where he's working hard. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I respect this player, but the goals should be coming in. If not, man, I don't know what to say. We always play a false nine. Arsenal never really gets their goals from a true number nine. So yeah,
Next one, look, I don't think he played great against Sunderland, but in general, I think he's had a pretty decent season. Abrichieze.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, it was crazy even that transfer to see it happen. And because he's such a baller, I always loved him. Crazy enough, my wife has been watching Premier League 2018 now. I got her onto the Prem. Shout out to me. And she's like, okay, aside from Arsenal, I'm gonna support you, but I'm gonna pick my own team. I thought she was gonna pick like a big bandwagon team. She went for Crystal Palace since 2018. Watched them through the whole thing. We saw Eze like a son, man, because he was with CP. We saw him when he first came on after the post Zaha days. So yeah, I think Eze for Arsenal is also going to need some time, but still amazing. The type of gameplay he does, he always changes the game. Whether it's an assist, it's a goal, or just his presence. Like Eze is one of my favorite players right now.
Hey, Trossard's surprisingly well this season, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Even benching Martinelli, which was crazy because that left wing was like, on both sides
You
being.
guys were screaming for a new left winger. Oh my days. Hey, look, respect.
Ooh,
Y'all were
yeah,
twerking for Rodrigo, bro.
yeah. Man, those rumors were crazy. Yeah, I thought he was getting pushed out of Madrid. For now, he's there.
Yeah, somebody has to leave.
Yeah.
Madrid is
Well,
is a cluster.
it's a cluster of just drama, man. Like Vinny, after that Classico, I'll never forget how he walked out, man. How he didn't want to shake hands, went to the tunnel. I think he
Hey,
just needed to
listen.
use the bathroom. I think he just
Hey,
needed to like let it
duty
out.
calls, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Overall, I mean, Arsenal at the top of the table. You know, not the
Mhm.
result you were looking for this past weekend, but still, how you feeling this season?
It's unbelievable. Like I every year, obviously, as an Arsenal fan, we always talk about the hope. It's the hope that kills you. But in terms of we just look at like everything that's been going on, I think this has been one of the best starts in the history of our club, especially like how our defense has been looking so sound. Um, we had like 7 or 8 games in a row in the last month and until the Sunderland game where it was clean sheets. And not only that, I really thought that we've been playing much better, like attacking. Even when now that we have injuries, we have the depth. So legendary start and form, but we need to keep this up. This momentum, I've heard this song too many times. Like as an Arsenal fan, the 2023 and 24 season, we started really well, and then the wheels started coming off.
Devastating post January transfer.
Oh, insane. When we didn't have Berta back then. I think now that we have Berta,
Oh, you have a real mastermind criminal. You have the financier to the terrorist group, as you say, the
that's it.
Osama bin Laden to Al Qaeda. That's
Well, there you
Bertha,
go.
bro.
That's why I've been playing Ben Arteta ball lately, like set piece FC. Berta's the mastermind. Arteta's
Hey,
just on
look,
the
how you
camera.
feeling about that set piece FC? Look, we give him my man Omar on the show. Everybody gives
Yes,
him shit. I tell him if United was scoring set piece FC goals, I would be shameless. I don't care. A goal is a goal.
that's all I say every time. A goal is a goal, Simo. And I'll tell you what, even if they score the most goals with their knees or with their balls, I'll take it. As long as we win the title, man, I don't care. Like just score it with anything. But it is a little bit crazy to see because like when you see the corner kicks and we're all standing on one side and then we start running into different
Yeah, it's
directions.
freaky.
Hey, but I've seen worse, man. I've seen worse on corners. Never forget Diego Costa back in the day. He used to spit in his hand and just put it in your ear, like he'd like squeeze your ass. Like,
I
I
was a
mean,
nasty player, bro.
that was. I mean, you want to talk about real terrorist tactics on corner kicks? He was.
Oh my god.
That was the blueprint.
How you feeling about Declan? Happy with the purchase? You know?
Very happy, very happy. I think Declan is the true captain. Like I know Odegaard still holds the band, but I think Declan is the true captain. He's a game changer. He's a dog. He'll fight till the end of the 90 minutes, and he's able to play defensive. He's able to push the ball, attack, find great passing, and yeah, man, I really like him. I think he's the guy.
Now, before we transition into our like the other stuff, so we have most memorable moment, favorite kids, all time, biggest flop, best. I'm trying to think
Yep.
about if we want to hit any other current stuff that's going on. I'm like, was there any other thing you wanted to talk about? You guys haven't been getting hoed on VAR like you usually do. Like the refs kind of chilled out this year.
Yeah, no, I think this year has been kind of odd because like VAR has never been on our side. It's been I mean there's like the Barcelonas and VAR did Real VAR did. You can put them in any even Liverpool. Like at one point Liverpool was owning VAR. Pretty sure they
Yo,
made payments.
hey, Varchester United, we were in our best season ever when Bruno scored when the game was over. Bruno got a penalty.
Barchester.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, that was actually yeah. I think the title changes this year. I think our Arsenal looking good so far. Yeah, we're looking good, so we'll hold the title.
Look, Liverpool stinking it up is awesome for me. I love to see Liverpool suck.
Always a great hate watch
Yeah.
because that's and also even though City's kind of like in the heels right now and clipping, like Holland's looking scarier than ever. That man was built in a Targaryen like lab, like science lab, somewhere in like the Game of Thrones. They built him out there, like bro, he's crazy. Um, but there's some surprises like Bournemouth, for example, Bournemouth and then Sunderland being in the top four, top five.
The Sunderland one is crazy because it really is the Xhaka effect to a certain degree.
Ah, man, that was insane.
Man's
Respect to
went,
him still.
look, he went invincible with Leverkusen. He saw
Yep.
Ten Hag came and he was like, you know what? I don't want to work for this guy. Let me get
He's
out of
out.
here.
He's made good decisions so far. Yeah. No, he's a baller still. He's a baller, and I think Sunderland, like surprisingly enough, one of the best defenses behind Arsenal. Like coming from like promotion and having all that. Like, yeah. Chelsea's also been weird. Chelsea's a weird team because like they look good, right? They have like more options now, and with Joao Pedro, Neto, even like I didn't even expect your boys like Garnacho to leave Man U and go straight to Chelsea. But
He's a net negative ultimately, though. Boy,
yeah,
that guy is cooking them.
it's crazy. I think it's him playing with another Argentinian because Enzo Fernandez is already on the team. These guys, whenever they like link up, they're all tatted up. The more of them together, the stronger they are.
No,
It's like,
100%. Have you seen the show Prison Break?
oh yeah, oh
So
yeah.
I stopped liking Garnacho when he got a teabag tattoo on his back. So once I saw that, I was like, you know what, man? There's probably nothing here for me anymore.
Yeah,
Like this guy, just sell him, sell
yeah,
him.
yeah. If anything, we'll pay you more to take them. Like, please. Oh God.
So let me ask you. You've been around,
Okay.
you've watched a couple of games. What is your most memorable IRL moment involving soccer?
Now, when you mean IRL, you mean in the stadium or just watching it on a TV anywhere, like out, like real life?
It could be anything, but it had to be real life. Like
Okay, okay. I have a few. I would say
that doesn't even make
mentions.
sense. That doesn't even make sense. What I said, it would have to be real life. Yeah, I mean, it can't
It's,
be a dream. You can't have thought of it. Like, yeah, it has to be
yeah.
real life.
I dreamed
Yeah,
Arsenal lifted the Champions League.
yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
I'm manifesting that. But no, I think I have a few, man. I think one of the early ones that come to mind was the 2014 FA Cup win. I think it was Hull City or like something like that. But it was a comeback win. We were losing, we come back and win 3-2. I haven't seen Arsenal lift a trophy since I was a baby with the Invincibles, so I was like, this was important for me. And I was at a bar with a bunch of Arsenal fans. It was crazy belligerent. People were screaming. That I think it was a Santi Cazorla free kick that put us back into the level, or we took the lead with that, and everyone went nuts. Drinks flying everywhere, people jumping like. So that was a big one for me. Also, I don't know why I'll never forget Arshavin's goal against that prime FC Barcelona 2011 team in the Emirates. We were tied 1-1. Sure, Messi used to mess with us every day. I think he scored more goals than us than a lot of players has ever scored playing Premier League teams. But
I
Arshavin,
watched Messi levitate during a Champions League final and score a header against Manchester United with Rio on him. That guy makes no sense.
I'm pretty sure he lost a shoe too, right? And
Yeah, 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 yeah.
he like was holding the shoe while he was celebrating. No, that was a crazy final. I mean, I don't really remember a lot of it, but the Barcelona final in '06 when we were winning, Sol Campbell had a goal, and then they came back and scored two. I think the second goal scorer, his name was like Belletti or Belletti. No one knows of him anymore, bro. But I'll never forget his name because he denied us of a Champions League. So, but I think the last two moments, like I remember, other than the FA Cup, there's three I would say also. Two of them are Xavi based. So it was that Barcelona goal to come back and win, and then I remember he scored four at Anfield one time, and I watched that game. And even he was in like disbelief after the fourth goal. His celebration was because he's like a humble Russian. He's like, I don't know. They scored four. He put four fingers up to the fans. Like, what did I do? And then you can't go wrong with Declan Rice's back-to-back free kicks.
Fair enough. A back to
The
back is crazy because if you said one, oh, okay, cool, like it's forgettable. It's kind of one. Back to back is stupid.
Bro,
Back to back is
I
nuts.
haven't done a cartwheel in like 10 years. I think I did a backflip and a cartwheel when I saw that. The second free kick was nasty. Oh yeah. But yeah, those were my IRL moments.
Favorite kit, right? What's your favorite jersey? Give me one Arsenal and one international.
Okay, okay. I think I mentioned it earlier, but my favorite kit of Arsenal of all time is that '05 burgundy '02 jersey with the gold color, the burgundy look. It's just so clean. I think I have one of them already, but um, and then international, that one's a good one because I'm kind of torn in between. My One of my favorite and most iconic ones was the Brazil 2002 one because that's when they beat Germany. They were in the yellow and green, but R9 had that ugly ass haircut with the little like the lawnmower patch. So that jersey still to me because I have the Ronaldinho one and I still hold that like to my heart. But then the 2018 Nigeria jersey because Nigeria's always had really good drip, but that one I think hands down design wise one of the best international kits.
I love it. I'm trying to think. No,
Yeah.
no. You haven't mentioned any France. Like, were you not a fan of the French national team growing up at all? Like, did you ever resonate with it?
I loved Zidane. I mean,
Yeah,
Thierry Henry was the only I would say the top French player I really like followed and loved
yeah.
because of Arsenal. But Zidane was also like, I mean, it's like maestro. It was like painting a canvas. So I loved watching that. I think the '98 France team, that jersey too, like the way they wore it and that aesthetic. super, super sick. But I also, to be honest, I love growing up watching Italian players. Like there's certain Italian players that also like Andrea Pirlo, one of my favorite midfielders of all time. Because Pirlo just was like that man was a baller. I mean, he did it all. He won the World Cup too. I remember that '06 win against France, which was a crazy final with Zidane. People forget about that headbutt, man, but that was crazy.
Man, Pirlo, when I was younger, I used to be so obsessed with trying to find like the complete player, right? Somebody who's won every single trophy. The Italian players were always the ones I would find that were like they've won. These motherfuckers have, because their team is corrupted, right? They
Yeah.
have gotten relegated before, so they've won Serie B and they
Oh,
stayed, so they won Serie A and they won the Champions League because they got
bro,
fined. They won Europa.
they just had so much corruption, bro. It was crazy. Man, like Pirlo himself, though, I'll never forget. And then also at one point, Balotelli's just sauce. Even though you're a
That
United
was a
fan,
time.
respectively.
No, no, but
The,
but that was a time. That was an era. Like Balotelli had a few years where he was just him. Remember. Do you remember that Puma Bape collab? And they had Balotelli
oh,
as the face.
bro, that was fire. Actually, I like that collab.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
Let me ask you now. What has been your favorite signing post Wenger? I feel like if I were to take a guess, I think it's the back to back guy. But then
Yeah,
but then I think Lebanese could be Saliba. So I don't know. Who is your favorite signing post Wenger?
and I love that you said post Wenger because it's still like the Arteta window has been not as long, and with Wenger there was a lot of flops and a lot of hits. Both sides. But I think post Wenger, like it would go down between Rice and Saliba, but another honorable mention, even though right now he's been injured and I think he's been underperforming, but was Odegaard. Like even grabbing him that first year and the second year, because the kid started so young, he went to Madrid, but middle of his like peak, I would say, and hasn't even peaked. I think he can still like go to the next level. So Odegaard, like 2023, 24, the streets will never forget him,
Man,
man. Like
Odegaard was a man on fire that year.
and when we signed him, I was like, this is what we needed. We needed that creative flair. We needed that player, that captain. But shout out to Odegaard. Hopefully he comes back better from the injury and we see some great things.
Man, I'm tired of saying "Oh dear God" every time he touches the ball.
I'm about to hang up off the Zoom, bro. I think I'm going through a tunnel. Just kidding.
Who is the biggest flop signing post Wenger, right? Who is somebody that
Yeah.
flop is harsh. So who is somebody that you thought was going to be better than what they actually were, and at the end it was bad business? You're like, you know what, we shouldn't have even gotten involved. If I had to make my guess, I'm gonna say Willian, because Willian just use you guys for a
Simo.
check and then cook somewhere else.
Bro, you got the third eye because you read my mind, bro. You literally because everyone would say Pepe, right? Everyone the biggest flop signing on paper on everything, it's Pepe. I don't agree with that. I thought Pepe actually he was still underwhelming in some parts, but he had goals, he had assists, he showed up. I thought he was still a baller. He needed time though. But to be honest, biggest flop to me right now is between Willian or that Sterling guy. And I only say that Sterling guy because I don't like how he runs, man.
You know
It
what?
just
Sterling was a loan, so I'm gonna have to disqualify that. It doesn't count, right? We all
what
make
what
bad
accent?
loan decisions. Yeah, yeah. Like, bro, I had Wild Weghorst, brother. I had to watch Wild Weghorst on my screen for half the
Oh
season.
my God. Yeah, bro, you're right. Alone does not count. So we'll go back to Willian.
You know how excited I was for United to get Amrabat? I was like, a bald Moroccan, not just a Moroccan, but I'm in a stage in my life where now I'm seeing a bald Moroccan play. Nah, this is lit. After like 2 weeks in, I was like, thank God this is a loan. Thank God
You're like,
this is not.
he's
This
going
guy,
back. Yeah.
World Cup tax is nasty on these guys.
That Mbappe slide tackle really put his
It
price
that's
tag
that
up.
made generational wealth for him.
It did. It did. That replay, I've seen that video 100 times. Tell you what, though, them signing them, like Manchester for that loan, that was the closest thing they're going to get to you. Hopefully they sign you next.
Let's get it, man.
Yeah.
All right. So last Arsenal related question. This one I gave it to you in advance so you could think about it a little bit.
Talk to me.
What is your all-time Arsenal 11? If you want an honorable mention, one off the bench, I'll give you one off the bench. But
Oof.
all-time 11, anybody, who would you go with?
Love that. I did this one is the one I gave it some thought. The other stuff I kind of have it like in the heart, but this one it goes back and forth. But I'll go with like the things that I like the players that I believe fit that category and that position perfectly, and then I'll go off of some things that I think like for me. But all-time Arsenal XI, I'm gonna do a 4-3-1-2 formation. That's how I would play them. That's technically how I think the best players in Arsenal were shaped in the midfield too. But at goalkeeper, nonetheless, David Seaman. Seaman, the guy, the legend, even though his last name a little sus, he was invincible. He was great. He actually had some of the most clean sheets in our history, and also was just an amazing English goalkeeper. Here's my four in the back in the defense. I'm gonna put my center backs. I'm gonna start even though in the middle, even though we'll go outside. I'm gonna do Tony Adams, legend himself, also from the '90s, early 2000s. Probably the most capped and most defensively sound Arsenal
Was
player
it
in history.
Mr. Arsenal? Was that the nickname?
Mr. Arsenal himself.
There we go.
He's got a picture on the stadium. He's a legend. He's just, the center back. For my other center back, I would put, even though it's crazy controversial because like he came from Tottenham and he stayed with us for a couple of seasons, but at his peak, I thought he was the best, was Sol Campbell. I put Tony Adams and Sol Campbell. And the honorable mention for that position, and hey, if you guys want to hate me on this, I don't care. But because he's Lebanese, Saliba, if he continues to etch his name in history, and this season is what it is, we're going to put him in center back as all time.
Let's go.
heard-
Listen, for me, all I care about is agendas being pushed. I don't actually have a strong opinion. I just need people to push agendas. Let's go, man. Saliba all the way.
Let's get it. Let's get it. So those are my center backs. I would say right back, left back. So right back, I got Lee Dixon, another Arsenal legend, someone who is considered the greatest right back in our history. Left back, Ashley Cole. Even though he also was a baller with Chelsea and played a better part of his career there, he was such a baller at left back. But potentially the defense can change in the near future. If we can continue this run and form in defense and have multiple seasons like this, that's what we want. Let's go to the midfield. So I think in the midfield, I said I'm playing like a 3-1, 4-3-1-2. So let's say the three players in the midfield, you can't go wrong with the center defensive midfield. The Rock, the Tank, Patrick Vieira. Still a legend, coaching at the moment as well. But, you saw that one coming.
Yeah.
I would say center mid and also potentially like a left winger role, Robert Pires. He played like fine wine. It got most of the actual midfield is going to be the Invincibles midfield. Here's one of my hot takes.
Oh, so Arteta's not cutting it.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't put Arteta in there.
No Shamak either.
Oh, Marwan Shama, bro, him and Squillaci, I think, are the only ones that got my blood pressure raised. Like in that era, and then Mustafi. If you want to do top three all-time blood pressure, like
Mustafi was incredible, bro. Wow.
I can give you a top 10 in Arsenal, bro, for like most like heart attacks and heart palpitations I've had watching them.
He will be ever give you stress?
It will be every now and then, but I did see some good in him. I thought he was good. Shout out to Iwobi too. He's killing
Okay,
it
so
with football.
you said Patrick Vieira,
Yep.
Perez.
And then I would put Fabregas in the midfield. He's
See,
killing it.
I wasn't expecting that. Really, I didn't know. Most Arsenal fans are still sour towards him.
No, yeah, I know. But to be honest, I take all that aside. When he was with Arsenal, and especially as a midfielder, he is a baller. Like, he's one of my favorite players of all time. And I put him in there in that Invincibles midfield. You got Vieira, Pires, Fabregas.
He would be able to hang, man. He was nice.
Yeah. He was. I'll never forget those Nike jerseys. We had the Fly Emirates at the time when it first came out. Like him and Percy, and then young Wilshere at the time, and then Alex Song. Song was slept on.
Man, I thought Theo Walcott was going to be one of the best players in the world at one point. Just gas off Nike and Arsenal commercials.
Bro, at that point, I thought he was going to go to the track and field. Like, why are you still playing soccer? Just keep running.
He was so fast.
His pace in FIFA was 99. He was one of those players. You pass it to him, and then he just hits a full 90-yard sprint for no reason. But will he finish? Half the time, no. He was like 50-50. But so yeah, that's my midfield. I'm going back to it. So it's a 4-3-1-2. Seaman in goal, Dixon at right back, Adams at center back, Campbell, potentially Saliba center back, left back Ashley Cole, midfield Patrick Vieira in the defensive mid, Pires in the midfield, Fabregas as well, and then now we'll go for the 1-2 at the top. I'm doing more like a false nine and then two strikers. I'm thinking false nine. Of course, this is coming, the Flying Dutchman, the one and only, Dennis Bergkamp. Probably the closest thing to Shakespeare on a field, bro, to be honest. Because that one goal alone that he had, that pirouette turn that everyone has seen, he's done countless of that. Like he's actually done so much more than that. I don't know why that was the one that got like the most TikTok views and clips. Like but
That one is the most clear footage they could have found.
yeah, man.
HD tax, bro.
Bro, better than the Bigfoot footage so far. But hopefully we get some soon. But yeah, he was also one of the most creative players I think Arsenal's ever seen. And then up top, you got to go two strikers. For me, Thierry Henry. Was it a surprise? No. Is he the greatest baller, one of the greatest ballers of all time? Absolutely. And then Ian Wright, just because he was such a prolific striker. And I think him and Henry up top as just an all-time attacking and strikers list, like, it's just goals galore. We're getting goals.
I'm so surprised by the Ian Wright one. I love it. I love that shout, but I did not see that one coming at all.
What would you think it would have been, or what would you put in there?
So I would have ruled out Van Persie.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought you would have just said fuck it and said Saka.
Oh man, no, bro. I love Saka. That's the star boy, and Loki, he's becoming a star man.
Hey, he's 24. Hey, that's a grown ass man.
I saw that recently. He's like, stop calling him star boy.
Put that old man down.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of with it now. This new agenda, I'm feeling this. He can't be picking up a little baby anymore. He weighs too much.
So, this is completely not related to football. I switched it up. I put you on the spot. Top 3 movies. And look, it doesn't have to be all time. It can be rotating. But what are 3 movies right now if somebody were to ask you for a recommendation and they didn't want just a cheap flick to watch and just get out the way? They wanted something substantial. They would ask you, hey, what are the 3 movies that you like the most right now?
That's a really good one. And like I told you before, Simo, it rotates all the time. I can't always have like a concrete top 3. But just in no order right now, I would say Dark Knight, Batman Dark Knight, and shout out to the background, because I watch that movie at least twice a year, maybe once or twice a year. I never get tired of it. It is one of the greatest, if not the greatest movie ever. Of course, Heath Ledger, probably the best villain to ever play a role.
Go.
So, yep. So Dark Knight, that's up there. I would say number 2. This one is a classic too. I just watched it again recently. Spirited Away. Shout out to all the people that like, the anime, the cartoons, the what was the Studio Ghibli movies?
Yeah. What is this one? DreamWorks? Oh no, Spirited Away. You know what I'm thinking of? Bro, I'm
No,
thinking of
no,
Spirit,
not that one.
the horse.
No.
I'm thinking of the Spirit horse movie.
Bro, put that up. That's off my list. I'm off. No, I'm talking about Studio Ghibli, the classics.
Yeah. Okay, the art house stuff. Nah, I feel you. What's the Boy and the Heron? That was that new joint that they just dropped, right? Yep.
It was pretty good too. I watched it in theaters and I got a free poster. It's pretty cool. I put it up in the wall over there. Yeah, if you get a free movie poster, you can't say no. But yeah, I would say Spirited Away, Dark Knight, and then the third one, just because I think it's one of the greatest comedies of all time, like hilarious. But The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. I don't think.
Oh, you're not a. Do you remember how obsessed you lot were with Anchorman?
Bro, Anchorman is definitely still up there.
you guys made me sick with that shit.
Ron Burgundy, San Diego, a whale's vagina. Like, come on. No, I love that because here's the thing. Actually, shout out to the people who are on Twitter, but I still use my. It's not my username, but my like profile name on Twitter is Brick Tamland still. Like, he's one of the GOAT characters. You can't go wrong with Brick. I love Lamp.
So the Dark Knight, Spirited Away, and the other guys you said?
The Other Guys, just because
Excellent.
it's like one of the most quotable movies. I want to ask you the same thing. What do you think?
You put me on the spot. No, you put me on the spot. I was like, what? Oh man. I'll go Tron Legacy, because the Daft Punk in the background, right?
The music was crazy.
Music went nuts. Goodfellas,
Ooh.
number 2.
Oh yeah.
And then, this one is for there's a 1999 movie by Matthew I forgot his name, but his first name is Matthew
Okay.
Kosowitz? I don't know, but it's called Lahain, The Hate.
Lahain.
So Lahain, Tron Legacy, and Goodfellas. I'm going to say those are my 3.
I only know the 2. I need to watch Lahain. I've never seen it.
Lahain is dope. Yeah, it's dope. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me on another special, close to my heart, close to Galbi PaulyB edition of Simo.Speaks. Paul, close us out, brother.
Oh man, what do I got to say? First of all, much love. I appreciate you, Simo. Thank you for having me on. Arsenal will win a Premier League this year or a Champions League, but I'm just
Talk
calling
that shit. Talk that shit.
I'm just calling it right now because then when you guys look back at this video in May, I'm gonna look sweet, or I'm gonna get a lot of hate on these comments. It's okay. I'm just gonna call it now. And then to also close out, peace, blessings, and love. Soccer is life. Enjoy the game every day, because that's what I do.
People let it talk, I let them do it all week. When it's time, better let the man Simo speak. It ain't sweet when you line up in the big leagues, big names and the best teams with the critique. Always on point, better come and grab a good seat. I ain't got no time to waste, talk ain't cheap.